Yay! I recorded a few recordings on skin spray and wound healing, but Robin and I are here today to kind of give you a little bit more information about the product itself, why it has become my darling, and why it has become a darling of so many of you, because currently it has like 4.93 stars out of 5 and hundreds of reviews. And it's one of the products that I'm really grateful for. Number one, it's a product that I based on what I've learned from my grandfather, who was a herbalist. He actually was an accountant until he was 60, and then he retired. And for 27 years, he collected herbs, and he taught me about herbs, and I used to collect them with him. You know, strangely enough, he used to collect those herbs and telling me, you know, drug companies take these herbs and they make drugs from them. And that was in the old days. Now, obviously, that doesn't happen because drugs cannot be licensed unless there are proprietary substances. So I hold this memory of my grandfather teaching me. And when I kind of realized that chemicals, antibiotics, and other drugs are not that great for treatment of skin wounds and incisions, bee stings and burns and so on, I actually basically formulated this product. And you know, whenever you formulate a product, you kind of use your knowledge of the herbs and ingredients, but you never know until you start using it whether it'll work or not. And when I started using skin spray, I was unsure whether it would work. But when I started seeing the healing time being cut by half, or wounds and abscesses, incisions, and bee stings and burns healing really, really fast, I was super excited, but still not as willing to share until I tried it in practice. And so now, almost 30 years later, whenever I travel, whenever I go anywhere, if I don't have skin spray with me, I definitely have a level of anxiety. It's just because it's my first aid bottle, like everywhere I go, everywhere I take it. And I usually have a few bottles with me. And by the end of my trip or travel, I have nothing because there's always someone who gets burned or cut or abrasion or incision or goes through surgery or has a birth. I had one story of my neighbor who had a newborn baby. And I saw her, a few days after the birth, and I asked her how she was, and she said, great, but, I'm having challenges with healing and so on. So I went upstairs to our place and I brought her skin spray. And the next day I saw her, and she was really funny because she says, what is in it? Like, I can't believe how much difference it made. And so, obviously, when it happens like that, then people start raving about it. And there's nothing better than when you feel that you can make a difference.
And I'm going to say, too, that I'm pretty sure I speak on behalf of the whole team when we say that we have a bottle in our house, at least one, everybody, right? Like, I just finished using some for Rhea's ear that she got a cut on, and it's fantastic. Like, even within 24 hours, you see a dramatic difference. It's great. Mm-hmm. So what are the ingredients?
I'll try to remember them. Every time I go through ingredients, I have a little blank. But so the first ingredient is a calendula. And calendula is super important when it comes to wound healing. It is good for reducing the discomfort and pain and swelling of wounds. Now, the second ingredient is hydrastis. And hydrastis is great for reducing the chances of infection. It has antibacterial, antiviral effect. The third ingredient is yucca. And yucca is known to reduce swelling and inflammation, and it soothes the wound or whatever is happening in the affected area. And the last ingredient is witch hazel, and witch hazel actually causes vasoconstriction, temporary vasoconstriction. So it actually reduces the bleeding. If you have a cut and it bleeds, you spray the skin spray on, and it really helps to stop the bleeding. So those are the 4 ingredients, and we have a special proprietary process where we basically evaporate the alcohol from the solution and use a saline solution that basically prevents the burning and is a little bit more skin and tissue friendly. So you can pretty much use it on anything. My dog Pax, and I wish I could actually show you. Maybe I can show you if he's around somewhere. Paxi, if I if I actually spray the skin spray on my hand, he tries to lick it off completely. The spray is intended for surface use or for topical use. However, it is, and we put it on the label that it's only for topical use because there's regulations and so on.
And so that's actually a question that we get quite often.
He's coming. He's coming. Bugsy, come on. Okay. So let's demo something here. Oh my goodness. Isn't that crazy? Okay. A little bit more. I think that he really likes the herbs in it. There must be some sort of, innate kind of wisdom within him. And he knows that they're good. Oh my goodness. Did I scratch you? Oh goodness. Oh my goodness. You want more? Oh my goodness. So anyway, okay, you can go. Okay, you can go. I sometimes use it actually for not internal use, but I use it for gum treatments after dental scaling or any dental procedure, extractions, and so on, reducing the inflammation of the gums, the bleeding, and the swelling. So while we have it on the label, and I still officially recommend that only for topical use, I can show you that my dog Pax actually licks it off, and dogs don't lick off toxic stuff. Like they just don't like chemicals and stuff. So I'm really kind of happy about that. My dog Pax approves skin spray for internal use.
And what are your favorite uses for it?
Usually, if you have any wound, instead of using chemicals, I just basically flush them with either saline solution or just running water. Like it really works well if you get cut or incision, abrasion. Just take a shower hose or just stream of water and rinse it. You can even take a piece of gauze and kind of clean it off if there's any dirt or any impurities. And then after that, you have a few choices. Just recently, I was actually I was shelling coconuts, and I was shelling with the machete, and the machete had teeth on the blade on the other side, and I actually cut myself about you can't even see it about 3 days ago. And so it really hurt. And as soon as I rinsed it off, I sprayed the skin spray on. So you can basically rinse off, dry, and spray skin spray off. That's the first option. Second, if the wound needs to be covered, or if it's larger, you can actually bandage it, and after rinsing and washing, and then saturate saturate the gauze or the bandage with skin spray, and repeat the saturation several times a day so it keeps moist. And then I would change the bandage once a day. I would remove it, I would rinse the wound, I would clean it again under a stream of water, and apply skin spray. It works really well. I have not seen it fail often at all. I can't even remember where I would have a wound that doesn't want to heal. When it comes to bee stings, mosquito bites, burns, pretty much the same approach. Without bee stings and mosquito bites, you don't need to rinse the area. You just spray it on the skin, or you can apply compress if you have a child or a baby that has some rashes. You can either wrap it or you can leave it unwrapped, but you have to spray it more often. Again, there is a detailed video on YouTube, so if you want to get more details and see some demos, you can watch it there.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome so much.
Is there anything else that you wanted to add about skin spray?
I really hope that skin spray will be more widely spread, because it's the answer to antibiotics and steroids and chemical solutions that are obviously not ideal, not only for us or dogs, but also nature. If you have positive experience with skin spray, please tell others, because it makes a difference. It also allows us to help any dog lover and person that contacts us. We have a very robust customer service support, and more than 80% of people who contact us for medical advice actually never buy anything from us. And the people who do support this system of education and empowerment. So thank you so much. And I hope that skin spray will continue to make a difference around the world. Thank you.